Backs did a lot to help their cause with a win and a series win over the Philadelphia Phillies. However, the Cubs did nothing to help us at all against the Reds. We have more on this emergency podcast about the Arizona Diamondbacks winning. And don't think I'm not turning this guy on. That's right. Let's see those cactus lights in the chat. We're starting in 30 seconds. And welcome in to a special emergency podcast on a Sunday for the PHNX Diamondback show here. My name is Eric Montilla, occasionally known as your mayor of PHNX, and thrilled to be here talking about the Diamondbacks not only winning a game here against the Phillies, but dominating a game here against the Phillies. Diamondbacks win this one by a score of 9-2, and they take the series against the Phillies 2-3. Or 2 out of 3, I should say. Welcome in to all of you guys. Great to have you guys here, and great to see this team doing the thing. This is a fun. This is getting really fun. And as Candace says, I am also very, very pumped. This show, of course, brought to you by our friends at Bet365 and Game Time. Make sure to download that Bet365 app. Use our code of PHNX365 when you sign up. Get yourself some bonus bets over at Game Time. Make sure you use that code of PHNX. You'll get $20 off your first purchase. We got Shane Diefenbach on the ones and twos. This man doesn't stop. He was doing an ASU watch along yesterday, a 2-hour post-game show, a pre-game show, and now he's here producing us because the sports are hot right now in the Valley and the Diamondbacks are hot. We warned you not to let the Snakes get hot, and yet here we are. The Diamondbacks, just to give you an idea of how insane it is that the Diamondbacks are just now 1 game back from a wild card spot, from a postseason spot. The Diamondbacks trailed the final NL wild card spot on August 1st by 10 games. And now here, after a huge offensive day for the Snakes, the Diamondbacks win 9-2. They improved to 79 and 77. And they, along with another stellar performance from Erod, managed to move just 1 game back from the final wild card spot. Unfortunately, like I said at the top of the show, the Cubs, after securing their playoff spot, just have rolled over and died, and they get swept by the Cincinnati Reds, which does not help the Diamondback situation at all. It's a crowded house now, and we have another opponent here to deal with as far as the wild card spot. Not just the Mets collapse, but we now have the Reds being hot to deal with. But again, like I said, a huge offensive day for this team and a huge offensive day for Corbin Carroll. Not just a day, but a year. The big story from this game is that Corbin Carroll becomes the first Arizona Diamondback player in franchise history to have 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases. And we shouldn't be surprised about this at all. There should be no surprise that Corbin did this. However, it's still amazing to watch him on the field, even when he has his ups and downs as he has this season, make the adjustments that he has and contribute to this team all around the way that he has. Again, he hit home run number 31 in the second inning as part of a huge 5-run inning for the Snakes that basically won this game for the Diamondbacks. That 5-run second inning was their 17th inning of the year with 5 or more runs. And the second time this homestand that they've done it, they did it on September 15th versus the Giants. They had that big a 6-run inning, I believe, against the Giants. So Ketel Marte is back after we had that meeting with him, after he had that game on Friday. Get a good game here against the Phillies, was the only person really contributing against the Phillies in the Game 1 loss. Ketel Marte continues to be back. He plated 2 runs in that inning, along with a 2 RBI single that scored Tim Tawa and Jordan Lawler. Then, of course, with 2 on in that same big second inning, Corbin Carroll hit a 3-run bomb, huge 3-run bomb that gives the Diamondbacks a 6-0 lead at the time. Like You see the Diamondbacks put up 9 runs, and a big reason why they put up 9 runs today is because Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte were on fire, and they have been on fire. And when you get those two guys going, you literally, as we have said in the past with this offense running on all cylinders, you just need one more player to contribute. Today, they got far more than just one more player contributing. They got contributions from Geraldo Perdomo, Gabriel Moreno, Tim Tawa, and Jorge Barosa, who hit his first career home run in this game. It was his first major league home run to make it 7-0. And that was a 99.3 mile per hour exit velo off of his bat, 389 feet to left center field. But Corbin Carroll, what can you say about him in that same 6th inning? Corbin Carroll obviously hits that 3-run bomb. That one was a blast, 428 field to right center field. Then in the bottom of the 6th inning, he steals his 30th base of the year to give him a 30-30 season. And you just can't say enough about Corbin Carroll being, the centerpiece of this team. And you got to give credit to guys like Geraldo Perdomo and other players who have picked up the slack in the absence of Marte and Corbin's production, right? Our guy Blaze Alexander has been a huge reason why the Diamondbacks have been able to go on this roll and win yet another series here. But with Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte having big days like this and starting to get on a little bit of roll. Sorry, I'm getting excited with my hand gestures and I don't know what to do with my hands because the Diamondbacks are winning. You get the feeling that this team is actually having the fun that they claim to be having on those shirts they gave out on Friday. And this one for us was a fun one to watch. But while obviously watching Corbin Carroll play baseball is always fun, watching what he's done for this team. I think Candace said it back in the chat a little while ago, but he needs 3 more triples to become the 5th player ever with at least 20 triples in a season. And I mean, he doesn't have a lot of games to do it, right? But maybe he can get that done. He does have a lot of games. He has 3 more games here at Chase Field, and it's a triple ballpark. But again, got to give credit where credit is due. Corbin Carroll is our king snake for this game. Corbin Carroll, 2 for 5 today, a home run, a double, 4 RBI, and all the credit in the world to him for what he was able to do. But there's just a long list of notable performances today. Tim Tawa added a solo home run in the 7th, or that was his, 8th inning, I think 7th inning. Get my notes a little mixed up. That was his 7th home run of the year, though. I know that. That was in the 8th inning. That one was 109.2 miles per hour off the bat to 412 feet to left field. So just a big day offensively for this team in every conceivable way. Marte 2 for 2, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, a double for Marte. Perdomo was 2 for 5. Gabriel Moreno was 3 for 5. Jorge Barosa was 3 for 4 with an RBI and a home run, and Tim Tawa 2 for 4 with an RBI and a home run. So just great things all across the board from this team in a crucial time when they absolutely needed it. They absolutely needed this today, and you just can't say enough about how big this is to win this series against the Phillies. I know the Phillies don't have a ton to play for. They've clinched the NL East. They still do have to worry about, seeding, as do all of these teams that have a playoff spot. Apparently the Cubs don't give a damn. They're just happy to be there for the first time in a long time. They don't seem to be helping us out in any way, shape, or form. But still, it's it's incredible what this team has been able to do. And against some really tough opponents, the last 6 games are against our biggest rivals, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. So cannot wait to see if the Diamondbacks can keep it rolling. But at least here we are once again. I will say the date, and I will say it again. On September 21st, 2025, the Diamondbacks are above 500, and they are somehow inexplicably still in the wild card race, still playing meaningful baseball games. I think that deserves little Perdomo going up Mount 500. Shane, if you don't mind, could you make that happen? That'll never amuse me. That never not amuse me. But of course, before we talk about Eduardo Rodríguez and the wonderful day he had on the mound, just wanted to remind you guys once again about our partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters. We are thrilled to be teaming up with Big Brothers Big Sisters of America for this partnership that we have together, because it's not just about sports, it's about community. And I know we discussed that quite a bit here. We love you guys. We love our supporters. Of course, there is our supporters group that you can join as well. And that is right there on YouTube. But of course, big brothers, big sisters means so much more overall. We got our supporters club, got those great emojis that you can get down on. Of course, throw those cactus lights up in the chat. Everybody love to see that. Love to see little Phoenix up in there. But also, big brothers, big sisters, we implore you, of course, if you're going to drop us a super chat, just to drop a donation over there to Big Brothers Big Sisters. We also implore you to check out the options of being a big. We're excited to support youth mentorship. That really makes a difference. You can learn more and see how to get involved at bbbs.org/allcity, and you can also go ahead and donate on the episode. And we appreciate you guys so much for doing that. It means the world to us. It really does, because we just want to try to help out our community in the best way we can, and we want to help grow our community. So make sure to join the supporters group as well. Speaking of support, the Diamondbacks got some support from Eduardo Rodríguez today, and damn it, they needed it. They needed another outstanding outing from Erod, and that's exactly what he gave them today. I feel like the bad outings from Erod are becoming fewer and farther between, and the good outings just are outstanding. And you can't say enough about what he did today. 5 strikeouts today. His line, he gave up just 6 hits, scoreless outing for this team, quality start for this team, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 0 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. And again, another part of Eduardo Rodríguez's recent success seems to be not really needing the strikeouts as much as just pitching in a way to get outs. And he has been incredible. Not only has he been incredible, but he's been incredible against some tough opponents. Over his last 29 and the third innings pitched, Erod's given up 24 hits, 6 earned runs, 12 walks, 21 strikeouts. Not a lot of strikeouts, but the 6 earned runs qualifies him to have a 1.84 earned run average over those last 5 starts. And again, those opponents are the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Giants twice, and now a scoreless outing against the Philadelphia Phillies. And the majority of those runs, 5 of them came from one of those outings against the Giants. So I can't say enough about Eduardo Rodríguez stepping up when the Diamondbacks needed him the most. I will be the first to say, as many people do, that he has not at times been worth the money the Diamondbacks are paying him. That is 100% true. But you could also say that right now, when the chips were down and they needed one of their starting pitchers to be their absolute best, Erod has been that. And he has been worth every goddamn cent they're paying him. So I still don't know how the Diamondbacks are here. I don't know how this season ends. I've been holding on for dear life, and at times it feels like I never know what's going to happen with this team. In fact, didn't even really feel comfortable today with a 7-0 lead. And the bullpen, not awful. We got to talk about Philip Abner being a dude and a guy. He's a dude and a guy, and possibly a certified G and a bona fide stud. And as you know, you cannot teach that. He went out there, pitched 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no nothing, no strikeouts, no walks. Taylor Rashi, not as successful. And you know, I want him to be, because I really need him to be, based on how much I love that meme of call Rashi. I want to Photoshop him on like buses and stuff around town. I really want to get in the weeds with it, but he has to deserve it first. And after today's performance, really didn't earn that. He went out there and really struggled. And again, this team at times has been so flimsy as far as what are they going to do? What are they going to be? I honestly got nervous. I don't know about you guys, but even with the lead, I didn't feel great. He gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks in the inning. He struck out 1, but he did get that inning of work in. And we finally see Nabil Crismott come into the game. He came in the 9th inning. Curious if this is going to be the role we see Crismott in. I mean, obviously, it's probably not the intention. This is probably just because at the time it was a 9-2 blowout, and you want to get Crismott in there to get some work. Since moving him from the starting rotation, they have not used him. So again, great to see him get some work in. He gave up 2 hits, struck out 2 in 1 inning of work, and closed things out for the Diamondbacks there in the 9th inning. But this is just huge for this team. This is huge because the Mets are doing exactly what we needed the Mets to do. And unfortunately, though, like I said, the Cubs didn't get the job done here against the Reds. The Reds have won a lot of games recently. They are one of the hottest teams in baseball. And now let's take a look at the drunken orgy of violence that we call the wild card race. and see where the Diamondbacks stand. One single solitary game back. But unfortunately, now they have two teams sitting there in that final spot, occupying up entirely too much space. We need both of these scrubs to scram and get out of here and give us that final spot. The Reds win yet again. And like I said, they have been incredibly hot this season. Right now, they've been incredibly hot. The Cubs did not do us any favors by playing terribly in that series and not getting the job done. And now the Reds have a share of that final spot. The Cincinnati Reds right now are on a 5-game winning streak, and that is unfortunate for the Diamondbacks. But what's cool is that here we sit 1 game back. Nothing we can do to control the fate of those other teams and what they do. Nothing we can do to control the Mets and how they play. Nothing we can do to control the outcome of the Reds' final games. And Piece of Yoshi is correct. The Reds do own both tiebreakers, which also sucks. But what we have is 6 games ahead of us, and all the Diamondbacks can do is focus on these 2 tough opponents ahead of them and these 6 remaining games, and they can make something special happen, right? Again, I will reiterate that I do not expect this team to do this based on their track record, especially needing to win games in the final series of the season to make their way into the postseason. The last 2 years do not bode well for this team. So let me heap more criticism upon them and let me heap more challenges to them, because this team is a goddamn team of dogs. And when I say dogs, I mean underdogs. I think that this team is just coming together because of the absolute truth that it can't be done, which isn't an absolute truth, is not their destiny. Nothing has been written. Nothing has been decided. So I don't know what's happening, but you can't admit that it's not fun. It's been a lot of fun. And Vic23 says that let's talk about the Reds and Mets remaining games. Don't love the fact that the Mets have a 3-game series with the Cubs. After what we saw the Cubs just do, we feel like the Cubs have just given up on the season. I could rant and rave right now for an hour straight about how angry I am about the Cubs, right? And the Reds don't have very much of a challenge. I do like the fact that the Mets end the season against the Marlins, because I feel like that Marlins team wants to mess their season up just for fun, just for the laughs, just for the giggles, right? And then again, I don't know, man. The Reds having not only the final spot right now tied with the Mets, but also the tiebreaker of both teams does not make me feel great about the Diamondbacks' chances. Nor does their playoff percentage over on Fangraphs right now. But it's Piece of Yoshi is right. He says it's the Mets. You need to relax. I know, but the Cubs also should have had a better showing against the Reds just because I feel like they were all still hungover. I can understand that, especially after Game 7 of the NLCS in 2023. We don't need to bring up any memories of the picture or me being shirtless with a bottle of champagne in my hand. However, maybe we need to get to that point again. That's where I want to get to a point again. Get me to a point of drinking champagne shirtless on this show out of a beer bat, and we will have achieved something special this year. The Diamondbacks are on the cusp of doing something special. So I don't know how this is gonna all end, but I can't wait to find out. It's the reason why we've stuck in here. If you are one of the people in the chat that have hung in here and been here all season, maybe many of you have questioned why you're still watching these games, or why you're even still scoreboard watching, as has been thrown our way on Mailbag Monday more than once. I guess this is why. Tori just said the guys earned a right to scoreboard watch right now, and I agree with that. And so far, the results on the scoreboard at times are very fun as far as what the Mets are doing. Not so much fun what the Reds are doing. But the Diamondbacks, again, now sit after 10 games back. After 10 games back in the NL Wild Card race on August 1st, sit 1 game back. Every series is already the postseason. Every series is a playoff. They have a 3-game playoff series against the Dodgers and then a 3-game playoff series against the Padres. That's how it breaks down. But tomorrow they're off, and they get to enjoy that. They get to go look at their fantasy football scores and then maybe look at their own score of their baseball game and have a good smile, right? Relax, recoup a little bit, and get ready for the most important 6 games of this entire season. And there's no I mean, there's no losing any game. If they do, it's still not the end of the world. That's what I'm telling you guys as fans. To them, don't tell them that. I want them to think it's the end of the world, because we need them to be in must-win mode for every single game, even if they find themselves taking the first 2 games of either of these series against the Dodgers or the Padres. None of that's going to be easy. But again, you have to admit, at 79 and 77, you got to be pretty proud of what this team has been able to do since at the trade deadline, having their best players, some of their best players, traded away, calling up guys, picking up guys off the trash heap, adding them to the bullpen, and figuring things out in the way they have. So this is it's not going to be easy, but it'll be fun for us to watch. So keep it tuned, keep it locked right here. We will be back with a Mailbag Monday tomorrow, and then we will have post-game shows for you the rest of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And depending on how important next weekend's games are, I might be just plugging away through the final day of the season doing post-game shows. So make sure to keep it locked right here to PHNX. Also, go make sure to check out what the Cardinals guys are doing over there. And, of course, this has been at least a fun day for us. So we will see you guys back here on Monday. Until then, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. I'm at Cap_caveman with a K. The mustache behind the Mac is Shane Diefenbach. He's at Shane Dief. Our show is at PHNX_DBacks, but as always, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We thank you guys so much for your time. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. I hope you guys all win your football games, fantasy football games, except Kevin Thomas. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but damn it, it's so much more fun when you're right in the thick of the wild card race.
We all silly like the mayor.